Hey, Dr. J here with another episode of Janine's Justifiables. And today is part two in the series that I'm doing on parenting or parenthood. All right. And today I'm going to talk about the emotional aspect of parenting. And the way I'm going to start is I'm going to pick up on where I left off in the first episode about how you felt in your body, what was going on in your body, in your emotions when you came into this place of parenthood, right? Because parenting is very emotional, right? And I'm not just saying that as a woman or a mother. Parenting, mother or father, is a very emotional uh, position to hold, right? I did CPS for nearly 13 years, right? And one aspect of CPS where our families, some of the families found themselves where they would be court ordered to do bonding evaluations, right? So a bonding evaluation is basically an evaluation done by either a psychologist or a psychologist where they will examine the relationship between the child and the parent, and they're looking at different things like how the parent can protect the child. But what a great deal of the evaluation is the parent emotionally capable of parenting this child or these children, right? And so, because there is a great deal of emotion that comes with being a parent. And one thing I found out, not just being a parent, but doing the work that I do, is that children really don't understand the emotion of the parent, right? They don't understand that the parent is an emotional being, right? Because children see us in a certain way, right? In their brain, it's we're just mommy, but they really don't see us as the human side of us, right? And so what happens is they don't understand what goes on with us emotionally, especially when they're younger, right? They don't know that you and your significant other are at odds with each other, right? Because we try to keep these things away from our kids. They don't know that the job is stressing you to the high heavens. They don't know that. They don't understand that your finances, your money is looking funny. They don't get that, right? They see you, um, and they think you're okay, right? You're still getting up and going to work every day. You're still helping them with homework. You're still cooking dinner. You're still washing clothes. Like, they see all of that and they think you're emotionally, right? They think you're well, but they're not considering the emotion of you. They have no clue. And what also they don't understand, that I've realized over the years, is they don't understand that you yourself, in trying to be a parent, is struggling with your own childhood trauma if you haven't already healed, because it comes up. We are triggered so often by things that have happened in our lives, right? And our kids don't see that. They just think like, "Oh, mommy's fine. Mommy is this," until they start usually getting older, and they will say, like, they will start making comments like, "Oh, mommy in one of her moods," or I don't know what's wrong with daddy, or something like that. Because what happens with us as parents, we start to demonstrate our feelings. We have patterns. We all do it. We all have patterns where people that's around you long enough, especially your children, will start to pick up on your patterns, and they will learn from your patterns, right? Me personally, I'm the type of person, I get quiet. I get quiet. I don't want to talk. So if I'm quiet, I'm a normally quiet person, but I'm a different type of quiet when my world is upside down, right? I am darn near a turtle. I will pull into out like a shell. like like I'm like a shell, and I don't want to come out. I don't want to come out. And my older daughter, she knows that about me, right? Because she has learned my patterns over the years. She has learned my emotional cues over the years. And now my younger child, which is 7, she's starting to pick up on my emotional cues. And we have to be really careful that we're not teaching our children through our own emotional cues of how to cope, right? Because that's what we're doing. We are emotional beings and we're trying to cope with life, right? Because life be life, and we have to cope with these things. But we have to be very careful that we are not emotionally present for our children, that we are not emotionally abusive to them because we don't know how to deal with our own emotions, right? Because it happens and we don't mean to do it on purpose. We don't mean to do it. But because we haven't found a course of dealing with our stuff, or we haven't found a way to regulate or whatever it is, right? We teach them how to handle their emotions by the way we handle ours. We are the demonstration to them, right? So I just wanted to come on real quick and just talk about that. We have to be really aware of our own emotional state because that sets up foundations and building for parenting. It really does. And one thing I want to end with is, are you emotionally capable of parenting when your children are also in emotional states? I hope that made sense. Are you competing with your children of whose emotions can be dealt with at a time? All right, just something to think about. I'll talk to you on the next go round.